Hey guys, it's Fox. I know it's been a month since I uploaded last, but here I am again. I've gotten quite a few questions about my last video, the paranormal video, as well as the video prior to that. I only have two, but today I'm going to talk about a little more of the paranormal stuff because I guess that's the vibe that I have going on right now. I do have a nice little background going on today. I'm at one of my favorite spots. I don't know if you can really see it, but there's some water behind me and things like that. So basically people want to know kind of how my gift works when I see the dead. um what does that look like? Do I always see them? um are they always around? Can I shut it off? Yes, I can shut it off. I can choose to not see them. I can kind of pick and peck to a certain degree um, whether or not I want to be, quote, open to what they have to say to me. Um, there are times, especially if I'm sleeping, where I really, unfortunately, do not have that option, and I kind of have to deal with what I get. I get woken up, I hear sounds, I do wake up to things sort of more or less standing over me to communicate with me, especially if I'm in a new house or an environment that I haven't been in before. Um, that can get a little tricky. Um, Usually, I will tell them, it's not the right time, and, please wait until I'm open or in session with whoever they want to talk to, and I can obviously deal with them at that point. Um, it is a little creepy though when I'm in new houses and I immediately, whether I'm on or off, can sense if something's there, if it's powerful enough, I can see it. And then I kind of just have to direct my attention away from it being there. And it will show out of the corner of my eye, or I can just see it standing there the whole time and I just choose not to address it. Um, when I am doing a reading and I'm doing a clairvoyant reading specifically, which means I'm working with the dead, I am discussing messages that are coming through from the other side, whether it be just a message that's coming to me directly as a message, or it's an entity or spirit or ghost or whatever you choose to call it, whether they're in front of me. When I'm doing that, there's different ways that it happens. When I'm getting a message, more often than not, they're showing me sort of like almost like an old time movie kind of situation where it plays like a video in my head and I'm seeing different images, different scenarios, sometimes like a live action thing where people are moving, sometimes it's just photos. Um, it tends to be on a black and white-ish type of scale, more of like a sepia, um, that kind of tone. If you don't know what that is, it's kind of like an old, like gritty yellow kind of color. Sometimes there will be more colors involved. It doesn't tend to be bright, like an HD kind of situation. Um, it's kind of hard to explain, but it does show me different places and people that need to be addressed. And more often than not, that will start to trigger with the person I'm with some sort of memory or whatever's going on. It will trigger to them, which will then lead to the next set of images or visions that I'm going to be getting, which from then on, we develop the conversation and I can tell them what's going on, who wants to be speaking to them. Either, again, they'll show me like a photo of like an old picture for me to describe what I see to them for them to understand. On the other side, they don't always stay in the form from when they died or from how we'll remember them. So when a entity is showing me who they are for me to describe to my client, they will show me what is easiest for the client to understand and to recognize. So if they were, say, a grandfather or grandmother, and the person remembers them You know, their best memory is when they were at some, I don't know, wedding or function where they wore a red dress and they had their hair a certain way. That's what they're going to show to me. They're going to show me the most direct line of connection between them and the client, so that when I describe them, they will more immediately understand who I'm talking about. Sometimes when I'm talking with one person, I will get other entities coming through that are connected to that client, or just they say I'm on. And what I mean by that is, on the other side, when there's a psychic and she's working, especially, we show up to the other side almost like a little lighthouse. We show up just like a little pinging ball of light in a otherwise sort of like darkened sky, is probably the best way I can put it. And you know how when you look in the sky, there's stars that are stars, and there's stars that are brighter and they shine and they ping? That's how we look. So when other entities see that I'm on, they tend to come through. So unfortunately for me, it can get very crowded sometimes, especially when I'm in places like hospitals, things like that, because I'm always shiny. And especially since I did die more than once, um, when I did die when I was sick and came back, I have a different look. Um, I don't know exactly what they see, but they see me a lot faster. They see me a lot brighter. Um, they come through a lot quicker, and I see a lot more ever since that happened. So it takes a lot of time and energy for me to kind of block that sometimes. When I'm out and about, I don't always want to be seeing ghosts walk around like you and me, because it does look like that sometimes. I'll be driving and there's just an entity out on the side of the road, and I know it's not a person, luckily. I know some people see them almost like flesh and blood. For me, it's not like that. I'm glad it's not like that, because I'm able to differentiate who is who and if it's alive, if it's dead. Um, my vehicle that I'm in right now is blessed, so that things are not coming in my vehicle talking to me. That can happen to some people. Um, I highly recommend to those people, bless your vehicle, put up your boundaries so that your space is your space. Like when I'm at home, more often than not, I'm mostly safe. I don't live in a home that I own, unfortunately. So the level of it being, quote, mine is not as high as I would like it to be. And there are cracks in that system for me to cover up and to block things. So there are instances, especially in the evening, where I'm woken up very early, in that 3 o'clock time frame. It is very true. It is not, one of those things people just say. It's a true thing. 3 o'clock, that witching hour, that dead time, that quiet time, that is all legit. And more often than not, I am awake during that entire time. There's a lot of energy going through. There's a lot of things happening. And if somebody is wanting to get in touch with me, that's the time they're going to do it. Um, but yeah, when I'm reading, as I was saying, if people come through, they show me photographs of what's going on, and they'll give me the messages that need to be portrayed, whether it's for that direct person or for someone like their mother, their sister, somebody that maybe was too afraid to have a reading. They'll send those messages through. These messages are also tangible, and I want to make that very clear. People think that messages coming from the other side are cut and dry. It is how it is, and that's the end all be all when you have a reading, whether it be clairvoyant, whether it's tarot reading, whether it's runes, whether it's just a straight psychic reading where it's kind of like old school, like fortune telling, gypsies, things like that. Everything is based on the here, the now, when I'm talking to that person. You can leave my session, make a decision for yourself that completely, utterly, 100% negates the entire read. Like if you decide when you leave me, okay, well, I'm going to go out, I'm going to, start working out every day. That can obviously change when your lifespan was set to end, because you're making a healthier lifestyle for yourself. You're making other choices. And in reverse, you can decide, hey, okay, well, I'm going to go and I'm going to party. I'm going to try crack for the first time. I'm going to do this, do that. And that's going to change where you were set to go. Like, you were set to be successful. The path you're on was great. You were, going to be a millionaire, whatever. But then if you decide to make other choices that you were not already thinking about, and you just go completely off that path, you're changing everything I said to you. So that's the one thing with psychic readings, where people will say, oh, this one's a fraud, they were wrong, they're incorrect. I know there's a lot of stuff about the psychic twins now that have done videos with Shane Dawson and by themselves, and people are saying they've been wrong about certain things. It's not so much that at that time they were wrong, it's that circumstances have changed. Things that were set up in the line of how they were making that read has changed. So that energy field and that energy line has changed. So things are different. So you can't say, oh, the psychic twins are wrong, they're a fraud. I think they may be a little overzealous in some of their reads. They say some things that I wouldn't say, and maybe that's because I'm new at this. I don't know. Not new at reading, just new at YouTubing. But there are subjects I wouldn't broach personally, and put out at large, because of the fact that energy lines, especially talking about presidents, talking about government, talking about anything like that, the Pope, any major system like that, it's so tangible. There are so many variables that it can't possibly stay the exact same. It's impossible. It can't happen. So, if you have any other questions, which I'm sure many people do, this video is getting a little long, so if I kept talking, it would just, I don't know, be an hour. Please leave your comments. Please message me on Facebook, as you have already. Let me know what you want to talk about, what subjects you're interested in, and I will be very happy to talk about them. As well as my first video, check that out. There have been a lot of questions about my illness, about how I even survived, because I shouldn't have. A lot of that does have to do with the other side and my connections with that. It's all kind of combined. But like I said, please leave messages, leave comments, and if you like somebody else's comment, like it, bump it up, so that I know that's something you really want to know about. Love and light. Have a wonderful day, evening, whenever you're watching this, and I hope to make new videos a little bit more frequently. I got a little discouraged. I forget who it was, but there's apparently this douchebag guy that leaves comments on new YouTubers that are very discouraging, very hurtful. So I got a little discouraged, and I kind of disappeared for a little bit, because I don't know, I just felt like maybe this wasn't the right thing for me, but maybe it is. I don't know. For me, I just need to get it out there, and there's just things I need to share. I was spared for a reason. I lived through serious illnesses, and breaking my neck, and having my adrenals fail, and just cancer upon cancer, and I lived, and I'm here, and I died, I came back, and there's a reason for that. So I'm gonna do what I can. I can't work, work, but I'll do what I can, and I'll talk to you soon. My phone's ringing. I gotta go.